Once upon a time, in the ancient kingdom of Velmora, there reigned a wise and aging king named Eltharion. His rule had lasted for over 5 decades, and under his leadership, the kingdom knew peace, prosperity, and justice. However, with age gnawing at his strength, the king grew weary, and the time to choose a successor approached. King Eltharion had 3 sons, Prince Selim, Prince Roran, and Prince Elric, each different in temperament but all equally ambitious. Traditionally, the throne would pass to the eldest, but Eltharion feared that blind adherence to custom might doom the kingdom. He had seen kingdoms fall to unworthy heirs, and he would not allow Velmora to suffer the same fate. So, he devised a test, one not of brute strength or noble birth, but of survival, wit, and heart. Gathering his sons in the grand hall, the king declared, "The throne of Velmora shall not be won by sword nor bloodline alone. You shall each journey to the forest of Verith, a place where even the brave do not tread lightly. There, for 7 days, you must survive with nothing but your wit. Whoever returns alive, and proves himself worthy, shall wear the crown." Prince Selim, the eldest, was bold and proud. A skilled warrior and charismatic leader, he believed the crown was his by right. His confidence bordered on arrogance, and he saw the trial as a mere formality, a spectacle before his inevitable coronation. Prince Roran, the middle son, was quiet and observant. He had studied the arts of healing, negotiation, and the old lore. He was not as strong as Selim nor as cunning as Elric, but he possessed a calm wisdom and a sense of justice that made him beloved by the people. Prince Elric, the youngest, was sharp as a blade and twice as quick. He relied on strategy and manipulation, always planning 2 steps ahead. He viewed the forest not as a challenge but as a game of survival he was born to win. The forest of Verith was ancient and full of shadows. Legends spoke of beasts twisted by magic, spirits of the lost, and a darkness that bent the minds of men. The brothers entered separately, each on the dawn of the same day, with only a dagger, a waterskin, and a cloak. Selim marched in confidently, sword strapped to his back, ignoring the king's decree to take only the essentials. He believed strength would protect him. Birds scattered before him as he crashed through the underbrush, leaving a trail behind. That night, he built a fire so large it could be seen for miles, a beacon of defiance. Roran moved quietly, taking note of moss on trees and the direction of the wind. He used herbs for camouflage, slept in the hollow of an old tree, and listened to the forest's rhythm. He trusted the land to guide him. Elric, meanwhile, left misleading trails and hidden traps behind him, ensuring no one could follow. He avoided confrontation, hid his presence, and observed from the shadows. He planned to outlast the others rather than face them. Selim, having hunted a large boar, felt triumphant, until the forest struck back. That night, strange howls surrounded him, and when he awoke, his meat was gone, stolen by shadowy beasts. His fire had drawn them to him. He was injured in the scuffle, and fear began to gnaw at his pride. Roran came across an injured fox caught in one of Elric's traps. He freed the creature, tended to its wounds, and let it go. That night, he dreamt of an ancient tree spirit who whispered, "Kindness echoes." When he awoke, a ring of untouched berries surrounded him, enough to feed him for days. Elric found Selim's trail, and watched him from afar, noting his wounds. He considered finishing him off, but a sudden gust of wind startled a tree limb, which struck him on the shoulder. As he lay recovering, a voice echoed in his mind. To win through treachery is to inherit ashes. Selim, weakened and haunted by forest spirits, came upon Roran and pleaded for help. Roran hesitated, then gave him water and herbs to ease his pain. Selim, humbled, admitted his flaws. "You would make a better king than I ever could," he said before collapsing into sleep. Elric, following their trail, emerged from the trees. He had the chance to kill both brothers and claim the crown. But he didn't. He sat down, unspeaking, beside the fire Roran had lit. There, for the first time in years, the three brothers were united not by rivalry, but by survival. On the seventh day, the forest parted. The path back to Velmora lay open. The brothers returned together, weary but alive. Before the king, they stood not as competitors, but as comrades. Altharion looked into their eyes, reading their hearts. "Only one may wear the crown," he said. "But today I see three kings." Then, the old king did what no one expected. He stepped down, and named Roran as king, not for surviving, but for unifying. Selim became the commander of the royal guard, protecting the realm he once sought to rule. Elric became the royal spymaster, using his cunning to shield the kingdom from threats unseen. And King Roran, the healer, ruled justly for many years, his reign marked by peace, wisdom, and unity. 10 years passed since King Roran claimed the throne. Velmora prospered under his just rule. Trade flourished, conflicts were resolved through diplomacy rather than war, and even the distant kingdoms acknowledged Velmora as a pillar of wisdom. Prince Selim, now the commander-general, was admired by soldiers and feared by enemies. Prince Elric, from behind the curtains of court, maintained a vast network of spies and informants across the lands, his methods sometimes questionable, but always effective. Despite their past rivalry, the three brothers had grown into a rare unity, one built not from blood alone, but forged through pain, forgiveness, and time. But peace, as always, is a fragile thing. Rumors began in the border villages, of people vanishing into the woods and returning days later changed, speaking in whispers, eyes clouded in black. Crops rotted overnight. Livestock refused to eat or drink. Elric's spies discovered something ancient awakening beneath the forest of Vareth, something older than the kingdom itself. A plague of shadows, sealed away long ago by forgotten druids, was stirring again. "It calls itself the Hollow Voice," Elric said in the war chamber. "It has no body, no army. It spreads by fear, doubt, and despair. And it has begun to speak to men." Roran's heart sank. The same forest that tested us, now seeks to test the kingdom. The three brothers once again returned to Vareth. Not as princes, but as the king, the sword, and the shadow. They found the forest darker than before. The trees bled sap as black as ink. Strange symbols shimmered in the air. Even the animals were silent. Each brother was tested again, but this time, not by hunger or wild beasts, but by their own regrets. In a glade of dead trees, Selim saw a vision of his younger self, sword raised high, mocking his brothers. "You sought the crown through arrogance," the vision hissed. "You have not changed." But Selim struck the vision down, not with his blade, but by kneeling. "I did seek power once. Now I serve it." A radiant sigil flared across his chest, and the shadows recoiled. Deep within a broken shrine, Elric faced the shades of every life he had manipulated, every whisper he had twisted. "You weave lies like webs. Does anything you say hold truth?" He stood still and whispered, "I did what I thought was needed." But one shade, the spirit of a spy he'd once betrayed, stepped forward and whispered, "Then do what is needed now with truth." Elric fell to his knees and wept for the first time in years. And in that moment the darkness faltered. At the heart of the forest, Roran stood before the Hollow Voice itself. A swirling mass of dark mist with 1,000 voices. "You rule through kindness," it whispered. "But kindness is weakness. Mercy is delay. Let me end suffering. Let me take it all." Roran lowered his staff and replied, "I am not king because I defeated others. I am king because I understand them." Then he opened his arms, not to strike, but to forgive. Light burst from the trees. The Hollow Voice screamed. And the forest groaned as if exhaling centuries of sorrow. The three brothers emerged once more from Vareth, the forest forever changed. The plague was gone, the shadows cleansed. But a new question burned in the minds of the people. Who would lead Velmora forward, now that all three had proven not just strength, but wisdom, redemption, and love? King Roran addressed the people from the steps of Solace. I may sit upon the throne, but a crown belongs not to one head alone. My brothers are not beneath me. They are with me. From this day on, Velmora shall be ruled not by one, but by a council of three, bonded by trials, truth, and trust.